Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Nightwing, issue number 52. That's a gorgeous variant cover right there. All right, let's see if I can actually get the guy who did the variant cover's name right. Here we go. Night Terrors, Part 3, Heroic Tendencies. This issue is called. Scott Lobdell does the plot. Fabian Nicieza did the script. Chris Mooneyham did the art. Nick Filardi did the colors. Mooneyham and Filardi did the regular cover. The letterer is Deron Bennett. Here we go. Variant cover. Kamom Shirahama. Hopefully, I did you justice, because this is a beautiful cover, man. Also, Nightwing was created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Of course, I think that we know by now that, no! While that's technically true verbally, literally, the creator of Dick Grayson was actually Bill Finger. Bob Kane was in the room, picking his nose and taking credit for everything that went anywhere near him. But Wolfman and Perez actually created the character Nightwing, the name Nightwing, and the new costume design and all that stuff. But yeah, I think credit where credit is due. Bill Finger should get the credit for Nightwing, for Dick Grayson at least. Anyway, we're going to start off with, I really only have two complaints with this comic book. One is personal. This one here is more of a, I'm going to look at it as more of a professional sort of a complaint. We start off with a recap, and this is 3 pages, about 3 pages full of recap here. 3 pages full of recap. There's more, actually. I'd say probably like 4 pages. Jesus. Anyway, there's a lot of recap here, and you know, once again, Marvel does it a little bit better. The writers for Marvel, they do it better. I think there's more of their editing team saying this is how it's going to be done. 1 page, 1 paragraph, you know, have a quick little blurb about who the character is, because just as John Byrne has always said, the great John Byrne, he said every comic book that you pick up is every comic book that you create is somebody's first comic book. So somebody might actually be jumping on at part 3 of a new story arc, a very crucial new story arc, right, where there's huge change to Nightwing, but somebody might be picking this up for the first time. Make the comic book new reader friendly, every comic book, and having all that stuff in a blurb at the beginning is probably is going to be basically, excuse me, let's reel this back a little bit. Doing it this way or the other way is perfectly fine for the new reader, but for the repeat reader, this is annoying. You just wasted about 4 pages worth of backlog talking about this character and what's just happened in the past 2 lousy issues. How many pages now for 2 issues of a comic that I read both of those issues, and you're just going to, really? You're going to waste pages of a story to give me a recap. It's like you're watching Netflix and, you know, your button suddenly doesn't work when you're trying to skip past in the previous episode. I know what happened in the previous episode. I'm binging. I don't need to see all that stuff. I don't need to see the freaking title and the title credits and all that stuff. Skip. My skip isn't working. That gets annoying. Anyway, that's kind of how I feel here. This is the broken button Netflix version of Nightwing. So anyway, I still have to say though, regardless, the art is telling the best story in here. Man, the art on this is just on point. Like Nightwing actually goes to the edge of a building as he's looking down on this knucklehead who he beat up. And look at that. He's like, he starts falling down. Like, look at that art, man. That is gorgeous. And then over here, he realizes, wait a second, I'm a carny. He's able to, you know, muscle reflex, muscle memory. I know that's not a real thing, but it's called muscle memory. And those in the know, that's why they're in the know. Anyway, so he's able to flip by and he lands and sticks the landing. And look at that. Look at that smile. That right there, that smile right there tells more about the story. I don't need words. Look, not even that many words. But you know what? I don't need a single one of those words. Not a single one. That art, all of that art leading to that point right there, boom. And then him, of course, trying even further. Man, that's all I need in this comic book, right? In these first couple pages, all I need is the art to tell me exactly what I need to know about, like, dude, Dick Grayson has got this, dude. He's got this. So we wind up dealing with, there's some kind of a mystery finally brewing in Gotham, or excuse me, in Bloodhaven. And we got, let's face it, a really dumb police officer here. She doesn't know how to put her hair behind her head. She's more looking for style than anything else. So she's got absolutely no peripheral vision with that. And she walks out the room. First off, she's talking. There's like the Hollywood version of the coroner's room. Coroner's got the officer in the room with her. With him, and she's talking along with him, and it's like, oh, and also this happened. Yeah, knucklehead, I got this. I'm the coroner. Allow this to be a professional thing, so it's not that much longer. Anyway, because the report has to be made based off of that later anyway. So she walks out the room, and she, again, no peripheral vision, so she can't see that all this crazy stuff is happening. What do you call it? And all this. I don't know why there's soundproof glass. I don't know why there would be soundproof glass there. It doesn't make any sense. Coroner's departments are completely separate from police departments. So, like, the reputation of a coroner's office is dependent on the coroner's office and the coroners, not on the police department. Because otherwise, you know, you have police coming in and be like, okay, listen, we're gonna change the reports and such. Coroner is just gonna be like, no, I don't work for you, sucker. I don't work for you at all. We're independent. We don't work for you. You know, say they do not work. So why would there be soundproof glass on that? It doesn't make any kind of sense. Anyway, these guys are killing each other. It's not until the bullets and there's bulletproof glass and everything. Like, what the frick? What the frick? What's going on here? So she's also, what's going on? And she pulled it on. This guy goes by, and he fires one shot at her, and she fires 5 shots back at him. Automatopoeias match up. The bullets match up. Like 5 shots. He shot 1 shot at her. Dude, fire superiority means if somebody fires 1 shot at you, you fire 2 shots back. Granted, cops don't get in trouble. Cops, on average, you can show me 1 instance. I will show you 100 instances. You think I'm joking? Give me your 3 instances you might find. I will absolutely bring back 300 instances where cops do not get in trouble. So it is what it is. All I'm saying, this is like my personal thing. As a former soldier, dude, a soldier would have gotten in trouble for that and would have said, dude, you are a risk. You fired 5 shots when 1 shot was fired at you. You are letting the fear take over. You are not maintaining your military bearing. You need to be taken off the line because, bud, you're going to wind up hurting somebody like friendly fire. Not cool. Not cool at all. So anyway, all that personal stuff aside, let's get into the regular aspects of the comic book. Basically, Dick realizes that he can beat up people, and he moves along, and I don't know, he hears somebody got hurt. People talk about, here's something I really did like about the comic book, though. He mentions that the most dangerous profession is being a cab driver, and that's true. That's true. I used to work as a mechanic. I used to moonlight as a mechanic when I was doing electrical engineering, and I was working at a Sears automotive department. And yeah, I would get cabbies coming in all the time, you know, oh yeah, I need a new tire, I need this, I need that. And they're mostly independent guys, you know, because we don't have a contract with the city, or not with the city, with the big like yellow cab companies. But it's funny, man, like they come in and they're telling all these crazy stories. Yep. One of the scariest things in the world is forgetting that you left your passenger side door unlocked, because I don't care if you got 10 people who need to fit in your cab, they all go in the back. Nobody gets in the front with you. Nobody. And it was late at night, and I'm just thinking to myself, yep, when I get robbed, I'm just hoping that they don't kill me. And fortunately, he didn't get robbed. But yeah, dude, man, I come from a pretty dangerous neighborhood. Check out Asbury Park, New Jersey, man. Dangerous. Oh, there's a little bit of victim blaming in here with Dick. He's taking it very personal. Rick. He's Rick now. The whole idea of, hey, man, you know, I guess I should have been walking around Bloodhaven at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's victim blaming, dude. Even if it's on yourself. No, sorry, wrong answer. Karate Nisante Nashi. Somebody comes at you, you take them down. 1 shot. 1 shot, you take them down. What do you call it? Anyway, so he rushes to go and save somebody. Doesn't bother to call the police. He's instead going to rush himself and go after this guy with a length of rope. So one of his fellow cab drivers, he gets jacked up. He's got the bang. He smacks up his head. Doesn't see any bullet wounds. Dick would probably notice that stuff. Rick would probably notice that stuff, but what do I know? So he just sees the guy got his face smashed in a little bit. I don't know, but at the end, we see the thing that I was really looking forward to. the Nightwings. Now, this is actually really cool. He's got all these guys, and they're like, you know, what's going on? What do you have me here for? What are we here for? And they're like, you know, oh, look, I found a bunker with a bunch of costumes and weapons. Now, I don't know if we're going to see these cops flipping through the air, because that would be kind of silly, because cops don't train like that. Only carnies really train like that, man. Even in the martial arts, I never trained like that. I didn't. I could still do a combat roll at 43. I'm 43. Oh my God, I'm 43 years old. But I can still do a combat roll and stuff like that. But I ain't doing no ninja flips through the air, man. That's just, ninjas don't do ninja flips through the air. That's all Hollywood. So the guy was kind of like hanging like this, and you know, I'm cool with that as long as I don't see him doing ninja flips, because everybody can't be a freaking ninja, all right? Big cinematic ninja. I don't want to see that stuff. But I do like the idea that these guys are taking the inspiration that, you know what, we can actually be the Nightwing. Since Nightwing is gone, even though he hasn't really been in Bloodhaven for that long, you know? Yes, years in the comic book, yes, but when you're talking about the comic book timeline itself, Dick even says in here, oh, the last chunk of my life I've been a superhero, apparently. Well, that doesn't sound like a long time, especially if he's that young. I doubt Dick is in his 40s, right? Dick is, what, 30, 31, you figure? Like, that's about the age that he's going to be. Maybe even in his 20s, who knows? But the idea is, these guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is just me. This is just me. So I'm just hoping that we're not going to have a bunch of flipping, Flying Grayson type police officers in this. But anyway, the next issue, apparently we'll actually get to see that. I do like how this comic book is allowed to breathe. That's really cool. That's a big problem that DC Comics has, man, is they're always like, you got a story? Shove as much in the story as you possibly can. Here we've got one main storyline, and we got a minor storyline in the back, and that storyline seems to be finally 3 issues now has coalesced with the main story, the Rick Grayson story. So these Nightwings are here now. All right, we had the establishment and everything. They took their time with that, and I like that. I do like that in a comic book. So plenty of action to keep the action nuts going. But there's a story here also, and I'm digging on that. I know I'm complaining about a couple little things here and there, but for the most part, a lot of that's just personal. That's an individual taste. Hey, it's my video review. Deal with it. But as far as seeing these Nightwings showing up, again, as long as they're just going to be regular cop vigilantes who are trying to show that they can do something, you know, look, I can hang on to the bottom of this bridge and do whatever I want to do. Cool. But if we're going to see them start, you know, doing backflips and moonsaults through the air, that's when we have a problem, all right? Because I don't want to hear that all these cops had acrobatics training and they've got a trampoline in their backyard and they know how to, like, come on, man. Come on. So I want to see more of a vigilante strike force team, and that could work. That could work really well with this comic book. So you'll have the Nightwing costume. You'll have all the Nightwing costumes in this comic book, while Dick Grayson himself isn't actually being Nightwing. That's a pretty noble idea. I definitely dig on that. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.